What is up, y'all? How you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Just wanted to kind of give you guys an update. The devs have been talking a little bit more about the expertise system that's going to be coming. Some big changes that are going to be happening in early 2022 to the gear score based on the system. They've been taking feedback. So how it was supposed to work was any item period that was above your current watermark, their expertise level basically going forward, was going to scale down. So if you had a 600 hammer that you had bought off the market, it was going to scale down to 520 if you had a 520 watermark or expertise level. It looks like they've been kind of taking into effect some of the responding feedback from the PTR changes. Everybody who's been playing the PTR has kind of been a little forthcoming with their thoughts on certain aspects that are going to be changed. Now, I'm really happy to see this. The developers are obviously listening to their current players, which is great. And they don't want to make it so that all your hard work is wasted. So what we're going to be doing is there's going to be some new changes going forward. In early 2022, when we start reducing the effectiveness of the gear to your expertise level, we will exempt the following items. Any item you craft, any item you earn from a quest, any item you purchase from the faction shop, which is great. So that's going to make us crafters really happy. We can make that 600 gear score item and people will still be able to use them. It's going to help the market for that too. It's going to make crafting very lucrative, which is going to be great. And these changes aren't going to be implemented until 2022. They're not doing any sort of gear score adaptation until 2022 with the expertise system, even if it does get pushed in with the winter event. Okay. When these changes are implemented, gear score scaling will only apply to items sold or traded after the patch. So anything that you buy now off the market is going to be fine. They're not going to do anything about it. It's going to be after the patch. So 2022, I'm assuming it's going to be the January patch that all this comes in. So keep your eye on it. I'll let you guys know as I find out more. When we thought about it more, reducing power of existing players is just unacceptable and something we will not do. We initially thought it being only temporary and giving a new path to gain back that power with gypsum would be acceptable, but this is now clear that we were wrong. So basically they're saying is, hey, we hear you guys. We're really sorry. We're not going to put this in place. If you've worked and you've played this game and stuck with us, we're going to keep you around. I mean, we're going to do what we can to make it so that the system doesn't mess with you. They're trying to make a new progression for newer players. So they don't want to destroy your builds. Okay, that'll reduce the PvP in the game, and that'll make people really upset and not play anymore. So I think they're starting to learn kind of what needs to happen there. So the new system will also give players alternate ways to equip themselves if they don't want to engage in the expertise system. I myself really haven't done much with the expertise system, so I have really low watermarks, so crafting is going to be very important to me. That's what they're basically saying, is they want to make crafting more important, so that your gear score is good from the crafted items regardless of your expertise level, which will be awesome. We acknowledge this change will create a difference between the way the game worked before this change and after. We recognize that some players who haven't hit 60 yet and acquire their gear may feel like the game got harder for them. Hopefully this is offset by the additional gypsum as a new avenue that previous players didn't have, which is awesome. Now, I'm really excited about this system, and there's some more things coming that I'm going to read that are going to help it even more. They are really listening to feedback, and I'm really excited. In addition, when we implement the gear score scaling, we will not only reduce the effectiveness to the middle of your expertise and the item's gear score. So if your musket's expertise is 520 and you buy a 600 musket off the market, effectiveness will be 560. Oh, this combined with getting to use all perks should create good value in the market for future users. Sweet. Okay, so they're going to average it out, which is awesome. I think that's a very good way of doing it. It's a good middle ground. So they are doing some different changes to the gypsum system based off the PTR feedback. They're reducing the cost of crafting a gypsum orb to 2.5 coin from 100. That's amazing. That was one of the biggest complaints that I had heard of the PTR, was how expensive the gypsum orbs and the gypsum casts are. The gypsum casts to 5 coin instead of 475. That is amazing. We decided that there was no need to add another coin expense for our level 60 players, but kept a minimum amount so endgame territory owners can earn a little tax from the income. That's going to be great. I'm really excited about that. Yes, it's going to be a little tax. I don't think it's going to be your main source anyways in a territory, and they can always adjust it to where like the territory gets more than what the person is paying out. Kind of like what they're doing right now with the taxes on the houses, how each place is getting their max tax, even though we're only paying like 200 gold tax. You know what I mean? They're changing the topaz gypsum to daily instead of weekly, and reducing crafting ingredients to make it less difficult to craft, which is going to be great. It's going to make it more frequently. You're going to be able to get that watermark up a little higher, your expertise level, up a little higher. They changed the cooldowns for gypsum from 22 hours to 18 hours, so you can craft them a little better. They're basically trying to make it so that like if your schedule is a little wonky, you'll be able to craft more frequently, which is great. In the future, we want to build a low cooldown system to make it easy to coordinate this and other daily activities like crafting and faction missions. But that is a lower priority than server merges and other critical fixes. So this will not happen in the short term or medium term. Okay, so probably like the middle of next year, you know what I mean? They're adjusting the way expertise bumps work, so there is a minimum as well as a maximum. Currently, there is no minimum, which can result in a few bad rolls at the start, really demoralizing players. So it's kind of like the guys who like kept getting 500 gear score stuff for like the first hours of grinding. It's been happening to my boy Crispy. He's been hitting a lot of 500 stuff even after he's gotten his first one. So it's going to be nice that they do like a minimum. So if you do hit that very low percentage of getting your gear score up, it will guarantee it goes up instead of staying the same, which is awesome. This will also decrease the average bumps needed to get from minimum to max expertise. Our goal is to average about 35 bumps from 500 to 600 is basically what they're saying. So 35 rolls of positive expertise when getting an item will get you from min to max. So maybe even 35 crafts at that point, you know what I mean? Move just some rewards from cash to events. A few activities such as Outpost Rush, Corrupted Breaches, Arenas, and Aptitude granted gypsum in the cache in the PTR. This leads to hoarding and uncertainty. If using a cache now is safe. This change should resolve both those concerns. Okay, so it looks like they were just having an issue where people were hoarding gypsum by doing outpost rushes and breaches and things like that, which was causing the system kind of break a little bit. So it looks like they're going to kind of move those around to resolve that hoarding issue and make it probably a little more lucrative if you end up selling those ingredients and things like that. So I'm pretty excited about it. It's really great to see that they are taking our feedback as a community and working through it. It's one of the things I love about this game. It's why I stick with this game. You guys won't see me leave this game anytime soon. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Later today, I'm going to post another video on the merges and kind of let you guys know what's going on, because we have our first merge going live tomorrow. They are merging 2 European servers together. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it goes smooth and they can go from there. But I appreciate y'all watching. Peace out, and I'll see you in the next one.